What is up, guys? Dazed here, and today I'm going to be discussing the latest patch to Diablo 3, patch 1.08, and some of the features that have been added to this patch. The first thing I want to touch on is the new mob density changes that have been added. Players should now encounter more monsters in Act 1, 2, and 4 in Inferno difficulty when playing at Monster Power 1 or greater. In the clip in the background, I am on Monster Power 1 in Act 1. I did waypoint to the Cemetery of the Forsaken and just make my way south here to the Weeping Hollow. This is one of the new zones that has been changed for the mob density update, and it seems to be quite a dramatic change. There are quite a few clusters of enemies in this zone. It's pretty easy to chain the groups together, so you can get the burrowing leapers, the zombies, the wretched mothers, and kind of pull them all together. It allows you to aggro areas a lot easier, and this change seems to be in the larger zones, such as the Fields of Misery in Act 1 or the Desolate Sands in Act 2, but this is a good example of the kind of changes you will see, and it makes it a lot of fun to explore the different types of zones, just to see the changes. And it's nice to kind of take away from the repetitiveness of running Act 3 all the time. You know, before this mob density change, everyone was pretty much grinding Act 3 just for either Paragon levels or Legendary. I mean, to be honest, pretty much everything. Everyone was running Act 3 just because it was the most efficient, because it was where the highest amount of mobs were in a short amount of time, and to be efficient, whether it's farming Legendaries or experience for Paragon level, whatever it was, everyone was pretty much running Act 3. So this is a very welcome change, kind of mix things up, make the game feel a little bit less repetitive. It is a repetitive type of game, but it's always nice to have something different to do, and some different options of areas to go and play the game and farm what you want to farm. So one of the other big changes that they have added to Diablo 3 in this latest patch is some of the multiplayer features, and this is a big change for Diablo 3, and it's probably my favorite addition to Diablo 3 from patch 1.08. So the first thing they do to make multiplayer a little bit more desirable and a little bit more efficient is that they make it to where there is a display whenever you run into any elite, whether that be a champion, an elite pack, or a purple. Also, you do get this indication when you run into a treasure goblin. Now, what this does for multiplayer is it allows people to know immediately that you have run into one of these packs, and they can then banner to you, and it does display a special symbol for whoever is engaged in a fight with those elites. The next thing they did to make multiplayer more desirable is in multiplayer games, the increase in monster hit points per additional player has been reduced to 50%, down from 70%, and this allows you to be more efficient so you can join public games, and whether someone's sitting in town or whether 2 or 3 people aren't as geared as they should be, you can still go in and have fun and be as efficient as if you were playing single player. The last thing they did to make multiplayer really desirable is they added a buff on your buff display called Strength in Numbers, and what this does is for each person that joins a multiplayer game, there's an additional 10% magic find, gold find, and experience bonus per player, meaning that in a full game you're going to have a 30% magic find, gold find, and experience buff, and they did say that this does go past the 300% cap for magic find and gold find. When you add all of these things together, it does make multiplayer a lot more desirable than it was previously, since you can run it more efficiently and you do get that buff to magic find, gold find, and experience. Now, the last things I want to touch on are the ID All and crafting that were added in the latest patch. So first things first, for the Identify All, there is the Book of Cain. You will find this in town near your stash, and it simply identifies all of your items at once as opposed to you identifying them one at a time. Now, for the crafting improvements, what they've done is they've made it to where you can craft multiple items at the same time from either the jeweler or the blacksmith, and it allows you to queue them up. The other nice thing about this is it does recognize the ingredients straight from your stash, so you don't need to go to your stash, put the ingredients into your inventory, and then go to the crafter to craft these items. Instead, you can go straight to the crafter. It will recognize that you do have these items, and you can queue up how many ever items you can create from that vendor. But hopefully this gives you guys a good overview of patch 1.08 and just some of the features that they have added in the latest patch. I hope they continue to make these type of improvements to Diablo 3, giving us very content heavy patches to look forward to, keep us coming back and playing the game, because it is a repetitive type of game. Where you do the same content over and over and over. It is nice to mix it up, to change it up, to see new things. So I do applaud them for that, and I am pretty excited for the upcoming itemization update as well. Well, that's going to do it for me, guys. If you do have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Well, good luck, guys, and happy hunting.